Welcome back to We Speak, You Listen. I know it's been a while, but thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe, please rate, review. We are going to be back doing videos more often, movie reviews now that the movies are open, and wrestling and sports and a lot of other topics will be coming up here. We see the views that we're getting, and haven't put anything new up in a long time, so we wanted to thank everybody for still checking us out. Today we're going to do a little bit of a Wrestlemania recap quickly and just go over what was a good card, a good 2 nights. Could have been better in places. Not going to be too critical, but Monday night after WrestleMania was pretty poor. But let's start quickly with the 4 championship matches. And I think all 4 were pretty predictable. Definitely, I thought personally that the 3 would change hands, being the 3 ladies matches. When you include the NXT in that, I thought for sure Raquel, Bianca, and Rhea were all going to be champions, and they were. And all 3 matches, if you include the NXT championship, all 3 were very good. Bianca Sasha was the best. I like Rhea Ripley. What they've done with her in the last year has been disappointing, slow moving. Now she's champion, and seems after Monday that she's going to have a feud with Charlotte, which is fine. And that'll be probably the WrestleMania Backlash match. Will probably be a triple threat, would be my guess. It should be either Nia or Shayna. They've both been built up to the point where, honestly, the tag team should break up. They should have a new tag team champion, and either Nia or Shayna should be the next challenger, and give Charlotte some time, mid-card, something else. She doesn't always have to be in the championship area. Nice promo she had Monday, but, overall, this is Rhea's time, and or Nia or Shayna, or, bringing up Io Shirai, something fresh. And that's why Monday was a disappointment, because there was nobody new. There was no debuts. Viking Raiders came back. Charlotte came back after a month, and that was it. Nice to see both of them, but not exactly a Monday after WrestleMania, as we're used to recently, with huge surprises and stuff. So overall, I like the Rhea Asuka match. Raquel Io was great, but Bianca and Sasha for the ladies' side stole the show of all the ladies' matches. The men's championship, Lashley and Drew, was a solid match. Weird spot because it was after the rain delay, first match. The outside was wet. They were a little apprehensive, but overall, a solid match. Glad Bobby won. Drew gets the rematch now after, kind of a weird triple threat that they threw together here with Braun and Randy on Monday. But that was a decent match, but they didn't push it at all. They didn't really advertise it. They talked about it first at the 10 o'clock hour. Just the whole thing there was kind of strange. I really thought Drew wouldn't get this rematch right away. I can't see Bobby losing, so they're going to have another Drew match where it's either going to be outside interference, something. It will not be a 1-2-3 count. Something is going to happen there. Interested to see what they do, but I just really thought Drew would get Bobby back and retake the title at SummerSlam. I thought the next time they would fight each other, but they're not going that direction. The best match of SummerSlam, of Mania, of course. The best match of Mania was, of course, the main event of Sunday, all-time classic. Edge and Roman and Daniel Bryan has been a fantastic build, and they did a great job with the actual execution of the entire match. In general, WrestleMania matches this year were short. My biggest problem with the entire card was starting at 8 o'clock and trying to end at 11, putting 7 matches each night in a 3-hour window, or a little over 3 hours, was too much. And with young children like I have, or just in general younger fans, even though it's a Saturday night, starting that at 8 was weird. It should have been starting at 7 on Saturday, and in my opinion, 7 on Sunday too, but they went for the 8 o'clock. I don't know if that was Peacock, probably was, but the 8 to like 11:15 was the plan both days. Everything seemed rushed. The matches seemed kind of short, but this one was fine. Action throughout, good match. Would have liked a little longer, but nothing to complain about. Great action throughout. Daniel Bryan breaking up Edge a couple times, stopping him from potentially pinning Roman or making Roman tap. That was great when Daniel caught his arm. Great action in that match. I think people will be talking about that match for years to come. And the Bianca Sasha match is at that level too. The rest of the card was solid. Nothing I will really say is going to be memorable for a long time. I think Cesaro Seth was a very good match throughout, and great action. Built up Cesaro to a point that he should have been a while ago. Should have been a bigger single star. He's one of the only people that I can think of that's been with multiple different tag team partners, and they always get the championship. So he's been considered a tag team wrestler, not really justified. He should have been given more of a single push in the past, and hopefully this time, maybe he'll get an opportunity to go against Apollo Crews for a title match here very soon, as the face in that feud would be fun. So very interested to see what happens with Cesaro on SmackDown. All the interesting things to me are on SmackDown right now. I like Riddle on Raw, and the match against Sheamus was fun, and Amos and AJ winning the titles was fun. But then Monday, neither of those were on. AJ and Omos were not on Raw, and Sheamus wasn't on Raw. Riddle was, and then got destroyed by Bobby Lashley. So, and Riddle got injured, legitimately injured on Sunday, but he had a match on Monday. But nothing from Sheamus, not even a promo. Nothing from AJ Styles, nothing from Omos. So kind of weird there. But overall, the SmackDown storylines and the SmackDown talent, and just in general, are more interesting. So realistically, if they had another draft now, would be fun to kind of mix it up. But something has to change on Raw. Keith Lee will be back sooner rather than later, hopefully, and go after Sheamus, which will be a fun feud. But that's not enough for a 3-hour show, and Randy and Fiend was a nice build, and then the last couple weeks was dead, really just video packages, and not much happened, and then the match was disappointing to say the least. You could have went one of like 3 or 4 different ways, and they went completely a fifth way that makes no sense. To have Fiend winning the match, but Randy getting some offense in, and then the blind side by Alexa to extend that storyline is fine, but in reality, you should have had Fiend just demolishing Randy. Non-competitive match. And then Alexa pops up on the box, and then Randy gets the win with an RKO out of nowhere. That would have made sense. Potentially. Not what I would have done. I would have put Fiend over myself in a good match, back and forth. Didn't have to dominate, but, back and forth. For him just to resurrect like that and to come, underneath the walkway, that was a cool visual, but he didn't actually walk through it. The whole thing was just not well done and disappointing because it was the first match of the second night. Kind of let the rest of the night off to a bad start. Back on the first night, Bad Bunny did a fantastic job. Fun match. Miz is Miz. I always respect Miz. Morrison's athletic. Priest is building to something, hopefully now. He lost on Monday, but I think he'll get singles matches against them and beat them. Maybe Miz one-on-one at the next pay-per-view would be a fun match. Priest will be fine. I think he'll continue to build. But Bad Bunny was super athletic, super fun, memorable, as was Logan Paul's spot. The match with KO and Sammy was, as you would expect, one of their regular matches. And then Logan Paul at the end and getting stunned. Fun celebrity spot, and I don't particularly like him or what he does, but, he did a nice job on SmackDown, and then again here, fine. Did a great job. Braun Shane was better than expected. I really thought it would be a boring, regular, yes, cage match, yes, Shane will fly, but just things they did that were inventive, ripping the cage wall and different things they did that kept me interested. And again, that being a shorter match didn't hurt it. While other matches I thought could have been longer and it would have been better, this one was okay with the length it was at. So that was a well-done match there. Quickly back to AJ and Omos. I like Omos a lot. I think he has potential eventually to be a really good superstar and kind of like Great Khali, but more athletic, and hopefully they give him the chance. He shined in this match, but he didn't do anything. So wrestling purist is going to say, okay, he's a giant, and he didn't do anything, and AJ looked bad, but they won because he's big. He took out a world champion in Kofi and a multi-time tag team champion in Xavier Woods by himself, and looked good doing it. No wrestling moves really, but interesting, fun, and Well done by Omos, and I think he'll be a future, world champion might be a stretch, but intercontinental champion, something, he'll build to it. He has the athletic ability with the basketball and the footwork to be a solid wrestler. He just has to get the moves down and everything to really become a star. And quickly here, Big E, disappointing he lost, but I think I've always said that I thought he should be the one to take the strap off Roman eventually. I hope that's what they do. If it's either SummerSlam or some other time in the future, that'll be a fun match. And I think they built it a little bit here with the Heyman and Big E back on Talking Smack, which is great every week. So I hope that's where they go from here. But Big E, a little disappointing. It was a short match, and to have Kato interfere, I figured Apollo would win. I didn't really think how he would win, would do it. But the way they did it was a little disappointing for the fact that Big E had been a great Intercontinental Champion. And then lastly, the women's tag team scenario, I guess you would say. This Saturday match lost my interest, and it ended up being too long and dragged out. And I really thought it was going to be all 5 teams in the match at once. One person from each being able to tag each other and pin at any time, and that would have been more fun. This gauntlet-style match was just boring. You knocked Lana and Naomi out first, which made no sense. The order of knockouts made no sense. The Riot Squad looked good. They got some pins. They got to the end. They didn't want them to lose to Nia and to Shayna. So they had Tamina and Natalya win, which I thought would happen. And then I really thought Natalya and Tamina would win the titles, and they'd really go toward a Nia-Shayna one-on-one, but they didn't do that. So the match on Sunday was not the greatest, and the Saturday Eliminator match was boring. So overall, nice to have all the women on the show, but the execution wasn't the greatest. And the order that the people got knocked out on that match on Saturday wasn't the order that it should have been. So looking forward, excited to see SmackDown on Friday. What's Big E going to say? What's Apollo going to say? The ladies, what's going to go on? Bayley, is she going to get back into wrestling again here? What Sasha's going to be going after Bianca? So very interested in that stuff tomorrow night. And then, of course, the main event. What will be said? The fact that Edge was in between Roman and Daniel. So Daniel was pinned, and then he threw Edge on top. Something's going to be discussed on that. Something's going to happen there. It's going to be a WrestleMania Backlash, either a rematch of the Triple Threat, or Edge will get his one-on-one finally. Roman's not going to lose, though. I picked Edge. I thought any of the 3 could win, but I thought Roman, Edge will pin Bryan and Roman will have an out, but they're building Roman to something huge now. When the fact that he does lose, whenever that happens, whoever beats him, hopefully Big E, but whoever beats him will be a megastar in front of a crowd. Huge moment, epic moment, maybe a SummerSlam or somewhere very, in the summer to fall range before we get into the end of the year and into next year's Mania build. I think next year's Mania in Dallas, Roman will be a challenger for the Universal title against somebody. He won't go in as a champion next year. So, interesting overall. I don't love the 2-night setup. I don't think it's going to happen next year in Dallas. We'll see if in the future they do it. In New York, it wouldn't be a bad idea, especially with the possibility of weather things where one night rains out or snow or too cold or something. To have the 2-night thing isn't terrible, but they have to work on the logistics. But overall, when you got past the rain delays, the crowd was fine. It was an interesting setup. Great set. Nice music throughout, just overall a nice WrestleMania, and I just wish it had started at 7 both nights, but, that's just a minor critique there, but excited to where things will go. NXT, all new champions as well. I figured Finn would lose. Walter is amazing, and, I hope we get a Finn-Walter match sometime. Maybe not for the NXT UK title, but for just to have a match will be great, and Roddy Strong gave his resignation, so what's going to happen there? So overall, WWE's in a good place, but they have to fix Raw. They have to keep the momentum of this WrestleMania season and make Raw a better show. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. See you soon with a new video, some movies coming up, and some reviews on this channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.